everybody. It's another episode of Supersize comedians in cars spilling condiments. My name is Kyle Adams. I am one of your hosts. With me, as always, is Ryan Danley hiding in the shadows.
What up? I'm in the back. I'm in the trunk of the car. That's how I like
You're
to.
in the trunk of the car this
I'm in
time?
the trunk of the car. Yep.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm running a kilo over the border. So you know.
All right, but are you snorting the kilo in the trunk as you're running it?
Why else would I have gotten in a trunk?
Exactly.
I didn't say I'm muling it in my nose. You know
it's
what I mean?
It's going to be an 8-ball by the time it gets to its destination.
Yeah, they're lucky. It's already at teeners right now. So
it's a teen.
Gotta give it credit for the teener and the 8-ball. Great terms. They were smart.
The teener. I don't think I ever got that deep into Coke mythology.
This is all just stuff I heard on the streets. You know, nothing really know anything about. You know.
I've heard Graham and I've heard 8-ball, and I don't think I've ever seen an 8-ball, but I used to, when I was younger, I used to think it was actually in like an 8-ball. Like they hollowed out an 8-ball and filled it with Coke.
That's what I thought too.
Yeah.
I thought it was just the volume of an 8-ball.
Oh, like that
that's
much?
Why was because it was this much cocaine.
Maybe it's called an 8-ball because it's the last thing you do before you die. Because the 8-ball is the last ball you hit into the hole.
There's a lot of different reasons they call it an 8-ball. One is the size, but it is an eighth of an ounce. So, yeah. So that is, but that's yet again things I've heard from people that I don't, you know.
I've only ever heard 8-ball after people do a bunch of coke, and
Right.
then they're like, "No, we can get an 8-ball. We can get another. Let's go get one. The coke is endless."
It's an adventure. You know what I mean? Like that's the.
And I've never seen it materialize ever. Never once.
It's because the person who goes and gets it ends up sitting on a couch for like an hour waiting for the guy to get it, and like you just sit there and like watch what the guy's watching on TV. And like I get it, you don't want people like coming in and out of your house, like if you're moving, you know, white drugs, you know what I mean? But like a lot of TV watching. There's a lot of TV watching to doing cocaine. So I hear.
Oh yeah.
I feel like most drugs involve TV watching.
That's
right.
awesome.
Just waiting.
That's only one of the few times I actually watched one of the newer Fast and the Furious movies was at my drug dealer's house.
Right. That's
Florida.
One time I had to watch. This is dark. I had to watch someone's kids.
Oh no, I've done that. I've done that in Florida for pain pills. You're like, hey, watch my kids while I go weigh this out. What?
Okay.
I always like to make that joke when people, it was like there were two sides of the tracks. Mm-hmm. There were two tracks, and there was like good part of town, medium part of town, bad part of town. And people were always like, oh yeah, that's the bad part of town. And I was like, I don't know, man. I thought their kids were really nice while I was waiting for my drugs.
Really perfect manners.
Well behaved. Yeah, it was almost like they'd been hit. They were just quiet. Quiet and afraid.
They were just scared.
Yeah.
If you don't know who our guest is today, you clearly are living under a rock because this is pretty lucky. I mean, to have such a somebody's got like some fame this year. You know, got got the Willamette week. You know, so we're lucky. Kyle's roommate.
Mm-hmm.
Host of For the Birds, one of my favorite shows I've ever been on. Except a guy yelled out one of my punchlines, which was weird.
Oh, that's the best. I love it when the audience decides to see the future, when they're clairvoyant, right in the middle of your joke. Like, thanks.
Yeah, thanks. I do that part. I do a part of my Taco Bell joke where I reference Rorschach from Watchmen, where I say, "I'm not stuck in here with you," or "You're stuck in here with me," and the guy just yelled that out before I could say it. Like I
think I remember that. I might have been there that night.
Yeah, it was one of those things. But anyways, Tory Ward, unbelievable that you were on the show. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. I'm excited.
You know, this is feels pretty big time. How's your year been?
Uneventful. How's your year?
Well, I mean, I've ended up with 4 podcasts and writing for the Hard Times like every week. So I write for like 7. I'm writing for like 7 satire sites right now and the podcast. So I would like to say that it's been like really chill, but like it's actually like I've kind of in a lot of ways like I'm unemployed, but like I'm busier than I've ever been. It's really weird. It's really
fucking awesome. So you've excelled while people have died.
Exactly. Like, we just need one of these every couple years, and I'll be, I'll have a Netflix special or something.
It's been tragedy for millions, unprecedented success for you.
Right. Like I'm living my dreams while other people are in a nightmare. You know what I mean? That's all right. That's all right. But you did get the Willamette week.
Yeah.
That's a pretty awesome. I have both years have voted. I've voted for you, so I was happy to see you. You make the grade. So congratulations.
That was an adventure. There was a bit of an incident. I don't think I'll ever be in the Willamette week again. So I did the interview, right? Can I tell you this story real quick?
Oh, please. That's what we're gonna.
So I did the interview, and the lady who I interviewed with was lovely. Really, really nice. It turns out she ate at my dad's Italian restaurant when she was a kid. So I wasn't going to do a straight interview. My plan was to just give them Fred Durst quotes through the whole interview. I had it all planned, like the things I was guessing they were going to ask and the appropriate Fred Durst response.
You just got to keep rolling.
Yeah, that was one of them. Oh God, there was a line about like, here I am standing with my hand and the mic in my hand like a jerk, God, like a chump. So I was going to do that. Like, anyway.
That's so good.
And so that was my plan. But it turns out she ate at my dad's Italian restaurant and we got along really well. And also I'm a giant pussy, so I couldn't I didn't do that. But she asked, so during the interview, she asked about, there was a question about like the craziest place I've ever done comedy. And then we ended up talking about some other things, but this is where this came up, was that she had mentioned, like, are there crazy venues you've done comedy or like, since COVID has shut everything down. And I was like, oh yeah, I did comedy. I did a cam show because I was like, somebody was like telling me about camming and they were like, oh yeah, I had like 10,000 people in my room watching me. And I was like, oh, so that's like an arena. Like, what do I have to do the Moda Center? Take my top off? I don't give a fuck. Like, oh, they're there to jerk off. Well, it's not my first time I've done comedy for people who weren't there to hear comedy. So that is, I don't give a fuck.
Right.
And so I was telling her about that story, and then when the article came out, there was like, so it was like a 2-minute story, like a funny story about telling jokes with my tits out.
Right.
And it was very brief and it was funny. And she's like, do you care if I put this in? And I was like, I don't give a fuck. Yeah, do it. That's what I'm telling you, And when the article came out, there was like 9 like you would have thought the article was like full-time cam girl, part-time comedian.
Oh my God. So yeah. I kind of briefly like looked at it and I actually saw that part in there. And, I don't pay attention to like what you're doing. But that's amazing that's where that came from. It was on both sides. It was mentioned in 9 paragraphs more than anything else. And it just gave me the willies. So I texted her and I was like, hey, so like, I didn't mind you mentioning it, but this is not in the spirit that I shared this with you. And I did not expect it to be like a focus of the, it's just not a representation. And I feel like this feels a little exploitative. Like it's kind of like, I don't understand why you do this. And she was like, yeah, it was. So the only thing I had was the little sentence at the end that was a quote about telling jokes with your tits out. The intro about like you being, it was basically made it sound like I was so lonely that I decided to get naked in front of strangers. The intro was my editor. And I told him that wasn't in the spirit that I had an intro that I really liked about you going back to school. Cause I told her this story about how I was like going to PSU
and there were like online Zoom classes, and then the teacher decided to get rid of the online part, like the camera part, and I threw like a tantrum because it was my only source of human contact was this class. So I was like, you can't do it, you can't take it away from me. And then I realized that I was 32 and everybody in the class was like 19. I was like throwing a fit about them taking the camera away. So she's like, yeah, I put that in as the intro and I loved it. She's like, it was so good. And then and she said he pushed and pushed and pushed for the cam stuff and would not let it go. And I could not believe, because there's supposed to be such a progressive publication, that a male editor, like it felt so gross.
That's so. And editors are weird. I mean, it's hard. You know what I mean? Like it's because like they get stuff and like but like because I send stuff to an editor pretty regularly, and there was like something I did recently for this jump kick site where where it was about like wanting to hear your roommates having sex more. Like a guy's like, oh, I can't really actually hear it, and so he wanted to get like an amplifier system. It was just a joke and setup. But I put this part in it where I was like that he had talked to his roommate about it, simply because like I didn't want it to like go out without like it with like there being like a weird consent issue in the you know what I mean. So I told the editor straight up, I'm like, if you're gonna change that part of it, if you're gonna edit out that part, I don't want my name on it, because I'm not gonna play with like putting out stuff that kind of and questionable stuff. If it's race stuff, if it's consent stuff, anything, I'm just not gonna like luckily I work like with the Hard Times, which is like really, I mean, Bill is really good about that. Like he if anything, he'd push everything the other way. For the most part, but that's really fucked up, like from an editor point of view, to like go and like kind of just like I don't know, that's just
have her rewrite her article. And she said that what ended up getting published was a compromise, and he wanted it, even more of it, to focus on camping.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, if I felt this violated with what you wrote, like what would you have written? So I emailed the Willamette Week, and I was like, hey, like thinking about you, there was the most strongly worded line in the email was like, thinking about you telling your writer to focus more on when I get naked in an article that's supposed to highlight my accomplishments makes me feel nauseous.
Mm-hmm. And
his response was like condescending and dismissive and like very pat on the head. I was so floored. And whatever. They'll probably never write about me again, but it sucks, man.
Fuck them anyways. That's a really unfortunate story.
But I did get my tits out in front of strangers, and there's 16,000 people saw my tits and heard my jokes.
So
I've done arenas. What point is this comedian 5 years in is doing arenas?
So yeah, I mean, you're like, I mean, that's like, there's like Dice Clay, and then there's you. You know what I mean? Like,
So
Kevin Hart,
to be Dane Cook level, 2007 Dane Cook level, I just have to pull my tits out.
That's it. Just pull out them titties.
Oh man, that's great.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure people will pay me to not. People would pay me to not. People like, dude, just keep the shirt on. Well, that is. I did not know that story. That is pretty incredible.
We were making fun of the guy because he said his Twitter says he's an Oingo Boingo apologist, and I showed Tori this song called "I Like Little Girls" by Oingo Boingo, and it is one of the creepiest things I've ever seen.
We're walking around the house all day going, "I love little girls. They make me feel so good."
Wow.
And we're like, what was it you said? Like, yeah, comedy's fine, but I want to hear about her oingos and her boingos.
Like, comedy's great, but what about them oingos and boingos? Some weird science going on here.
Yeah, I mean, jokes aside, Oingo Boingo, yeah. Wow, what a wow. When I hear these stories, it's just like, are they not learning? Like, are you just learning nothing? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, is it like? I feel like there's like this. Excuse me. I feel like there's this like energy right now where you see like creepers from the scene trying to. We all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, like edgelords making their way back in.
Yeah, and creepy dudes, and then like like on the comics board today, I got into it with that dude, and like it's just like I don't know like what people haven't learned in the past year about like what's going on in the world and the stuff like that, but like to me, it's like people are just like, I mean, like it's time for it to just stop. You know what I mean? Can we just stop this bullshit? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
the Willamette Week editor, like of Portland, like
yeah, like, I couldn't. And also, like when you're writing an email to your telling a woman on your staff to rewrite her article to focus on sex, like how does it not come into your head of like, ooh, maybe this is.
Well, and you're also fucking with two women.
That really
yeah, exactly.
Like, I was like, this is efficient sexism.
Oh fuck. And that's too bad. And I mean, and particularly coming off the year where there were no women in the
no kidding.
And it's that's a
he interviewed Hijinks, the editor did. The editor's name is Matt Singer, by the way. He interviewed Hijinks, and his attitude towards it, the pushback from there not being any women, was he was very glib in the it was very apparent that he didn't take it very seriously, so whatever.
Yeah, it felt like it's like this guy doesn't think that they're like
right.
This guy says it's like what the fuck.
Yeah.
Well, maybe as a community we should quit voting for it. I don't know. Maybe that's if they're gonna pull bullshit and stuff like that. Maybe it's fine. We just don't take part in it. Like, who cares? You know what I mean? Like, start our own goddamn weekly paper. That would be cool. Well, that is. It's like I want to send him like a mean message right now, or just like actually invite him to meet me somewhere. But that's that's kind of where I'm at now. I'm at this point with like watching creepy dudes try to sneak in the scene and like get on open mics and stuff like that. So just like over it, you know what I mean? Like I'm just like over this bullshit. Like pay attention, people, like to the world, and just go away. You know what I mean? Just be gone and like drop this bullshit. It's like it's like, not that I don't have to tell either of you that. Yeah. So on that note, me.
Sorry.
No, do not be silly, please.
No, that's no. I like that story. I loved the Oingo apology story.
Oh my god!
I completely forgot about that part.
Yeah, that part makes me laugh every time.
So
yeah, that's that's what we're here for. But on that note, we did.
Oh yeah.
Oh, there's food. I am. Boy, am I excited about.
I am too.
We're gonna split it today since we're both on a diet.
I am excited about this food in a way that the editor of the Willamette Week would love to write about, if you see what I'm saying. I am sexually excited about this food.
That is perfect, because it is the flamethrower. It is
Did you get a Blizzard, Ryan?
I did.
What flavor did you get?
I got the Reese's peanut butter.
Oh, nice.
What kind do we get?
We got Butterfinger.
We got Butterfinger.
Yeah, Butterfinger's really good too. I actually kind of go back and forth. Not that I get lots of, Blizzards, but when I do get one, I like the banana split one too, because it has like.
Oh, that one's great. I like the pumpkin pie one when it's available.
When it has the banana in it, I feel like I'm eating healthy. You know what I mean? It's like, It was like when I drank, like getting a Bloody Mary. You were like, "Look at me! I'm like getting my vegetables." You know what I mean? So,
It's basically a V8.
Are we all non-drinkers?
yes.
Yeah.
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 We've been crushing the soda water in this house.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I'm going through all of them right now. Because I order from Amazon Prime occasionally. I get the Waterloo brand. It's okay.
Those ones are great. We
They
love
have
the
Walmart.
watermelon. We get the watermelon one all the time.
That's good. I've been getting the bubbly caffeinated. I like Highball too, which is, I don't know if you guys have had Highball, but that's the caffeinated soda water. But Bubbly now has a caffeinated soda water. So I kind of like that, like mid-morning refreshing drink with like a little caffeine. So you like kills that second cup of coffee for me. So yeah.
We found out recently that it's pronounced boobly.
Yeah.
But we still say bubbly because we're
Fuck
not
them.
assholes.
Yeah.
Who the fuck?
I saw a commercial for Boobly, and they said Boobly, and I go, "Fuck you!"
Yeah.
That's exactly what I said. I'm like, no.
Is Michael Bublé in the commercial?
I wish you would have. Yeah, just have a crooner singing about soda water.
Right, exactly. So we picked the we picked the flamethrower burger from Dairy Queen. It's a good standard. Dairy Queen is a little underrated in the whole fast food world. They actually
I love Dairy Queen.
Yeah, it's like on the road or whatever. Like you see a Dairy Queen, like I know it's like consistently pretty good. It's like, I don't know, like the flamethrower is rad, So I like the kind of waxy paper it comes in. I kind of like that. It's a little throwback,
It does. Yeah, I remember that. Like where you like fold it a certain way to let you know which one it is. It's like
Exactly.
it's like one of those fortune tellers from middle school, like with burgers.
Exactly.
You are. Sorry, you're gonna marry a hobo, or whatever.
Exactly.
Does this burger like me? Yes or no?
Yes or no. Let's peel it away and see what we got here.
Oh man, it's beautiful.
Look at this.
It is a quarter pound burger, topped with Dairy Queen's fiery flamethrower sauce,
Fuck yeah.
melted pepper jack, jalapeno bacon.
Jalapeno bacon.
Yeah, thick cut tomato and crisp chopped lettuce served on a warm toasted bun. So yeah, that's a pretty and it comes in different sizes. There's a half pound and a quarter pound, and the flamethrower grill burger from the fine folks at Dairy Queen.
Oh my god, this looks amazing.
Yeah, I'm so excited. So we have to eat it like a chipmunk. What's your guys' rule? If you're talking, for later.
If you're talking, you push it.
Oh, I'm not gonna talk. Just stop the audio. I'm just gonna make eating sounds. Can I bite it now?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Go ahead and we'll give this a shot.
Mm.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's delicious.
Kyle took a small bite.
Mm-hmm.
I took a big bite for mouthfeel.
Oh, I love them. I love the mouthfeel on this.
It's all about. Oh yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah, this is pretty delicious. Yeah, I don't even like it. It's actually just really good. Like the fire sauce is like the perfect spice.
Yeah, it's just it enhances the flavor.
Mm-hmm.
The cheese, it's the perfect amount of crunch.
Mm-hmm.
The bread is soft.
I really like the bacon, and I'm very particular about fast food bacon. This is like the perfect texture to just kind of blend well with it. Yeah, when we had the Baconator, I almost choked because it's just too much bacon. It's good bacon, but it's just too much bacon.
Baconator's too salty.
Mm-hmm.
Baconator is pretty salty. And,
it's very salty.
Yeah, I fucked myself up on that day. Like it was 420, and I felt so sick after that one.
I forgot how good fast food is. People who eat at fancy restaurants are suckers, and they look down at people who eat at fast food like, oh, I tortured goose at a $1,000 restaurant, and I come on my own face. I hate those people. And plus also, and they act like they're better than you, but their cooks went to commute. They went to a trade school, and the people who come up with this shit, they have PhDs. Like a scientist made this food taste good.
Exactly.
And it was $8 or whatever.
Exactly. And it's, it's because they just are like fat and sweet, and they do like the combination. The thing about like what I really like about Dairy Queen stuff is that the burger tastes like, I'm not like much for nostalgia because like clearly like the past in this world isn't good. But there are moments where I have like these, it's like the smell of a basement or like a linen closet, and like the flavor and the flavor of a Dairy Queen burger just has that like that wholesome like after soccer practice kind of, you know what I mean? Like you're all in 4-H or something, and everybody swings by the Dairy Queen afterwards. Like it just has that like that classic flavor to it.
I was on swim team, so I was a chubber bubber as a kid. And back when I was a kid, and I grew up in a small town. And back when I was a kid, I'm not chipmunking very well. Sorry. People had different views on fat positivity. Fat positivity did not exist, and so I was on the swim team, and my dad couldn't figure out why I wasn't losing weight. And it was because there was a Dairy Queen 2 blocks away. And so we would all go to the community center and then all scrounge up money and then go dunk fries and ice cream.
Yeah, that's what we're doing
right before swim team. And you know what? Fat makes you buoyant. So
Exactly.
I think it was a good idea. I mean, he was like, why are you losing weight? And also, where have all the quarters gone?
You're supposed to be doing laundry.
Yeah. Oh, he also used to drop me off at the laundromat when I was a kid.
That's the most depressing place to be as a kid.
He couldn't figure out why the laundry was so expensive, took so many quarters.
Yeah.
I would go walk to the Burger King. It was on the other side of the car wash, and I would get their little Hershey's cakes,
those are amazing.
And I would eat like 8. I would make myself sick. By the time he picked me up, I would be sick off of Hershey's.
Just licking the cardboard.
Yeah.
I was there. I've done that. I've been the cardboard licker.
Can we discuss fries dunked in ice cream? It is the best.
It really is. It's the salt and the sweet and the creamy, and it's like it's all
and the hot and the cold.
Mm-hmm.
Have you guys had? There's a chocolate potato chip ice cream that they had for a little while. I think it was like a Willy Wonka brand. They had these weird, like they were selling them at grocery outlet because they weren't selling well apparently. And, they had
the Jimmy Fallon Ben and Jerry's had potato chips in it.
Did they do the chocolate chip with that one, like a chocolate covered potato chip with that one?
Maybe I can't remember. What was this? What was this grocery outlet brand?
Oh, it was like Willy Wonka. It was like these flavor whatever, like blast or whatever, what they call that crap.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a chocolate covered potato chip in there. It was amazing. That's really good.
Mm-hmm.
This is when people are listening to this, they're gonna think I just died because I'm just not contributing anymore.
Well, I like that this always becomes an ASMR podcast without us being It's a mukbang basically.
There are huge pieces of Butterfinger in here, by the way.
Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna lie, I did have since we were splitting a blizzard, I did have another little blizzard for the drive back.
Blizzard?
I didn't count. They have a frosted animal cookie one.
Oh,
and that was absolutely amazing. I don't know if you guys ever had
that sounds really good.
It was absolutely amazing.
Like the circus animals?
Yeah, circus animals.
Oh, I love those.
Covered with that pink frosting and the little sprinkles on them. And they had all of that in there. It was
Man, have you ever felt more lied to and taken from than when somebody says that they have animal cookies and what they mean is animal crackers and not the ones with the sprinkles, and it's fucking bullshit, and they lied to you. They lied to you. They told you it was a Tesla and then they gave you a Honda.
Nissan. Yeah, and like those crackers are just like, I actually like hate kind of both animal crackers and graham crackers. Graham crackers are fine in s'mores land, but as a kid, like I would be like somebody's house who was watching me, and they'd be like, "Hey, guys, want cookies?" And they'd pass out graham crackers, and I'd be like,
"Oh, fuck no!"
Yeah,
Fuck
and then
you.
the next thing they always hand out is Bibles. It's always religious bigotry and bullshit snacks.
Those graham
It's true.
graham crackers thumpers out there.
They're fucking garbage, man.
That's so funny.
The cheese is so good on this. I don't know if I can.
Oh, yeah.
I think we talked about this on the thick burger. This is a little similar to the Carl's Jr. thick burger, but I love pepper jack on a burger. That's my favorite cheese to put on a burger.
Really?
Yeah. Especially when it melts, because pepper jack's a little better after it melts than if you have it cold.
How do you feel about America? I feel like American cheese is people are really. How do you feel about American cheese, and how do you feel about smash burgers? Ultra thin.
Yeah.
Oh, those little ones. They're fine. I'm not a huge fan of American cheese. I'd rather have a sharp cheddar if you're going that direction on a burger. But I mean, it suffices for fast food burgers. It's fine. Like a McDouble. If you had like cheddar or something else on a McDouble, it might seem a little weird.
I'm gonna get food geeky here for a second. So there's like Velveeta or Kraft Slices or whatever American cheese, and then there's like actual American cheese, which kind of like falls into that like sort of like jack cheese, queso fresh, just that kind of like plain, mild, melty cheese. And I really like that. Like I think
I don't think
that's
I've
really
ever had it.
you can like go like I hate ordering it because like you have to go to the deli at like Fred Meyer and go, can I get like half a pound of white American? But like that is
Why don't you just loft some off yourself, buddy?
exactly. It's just like the most racist order in the world. But
well, at least you aren't standing at the counter and going, "White American is the best." I love white American. If it's not white American, get it away from me.
Exactly.
That's the only thing allowed on my sandwich.
But it's good. I mean, like it's not like I don't know. Like I like a kind of like a normal like just sort of like house cheese like that. Just like a kind of like a. It just kind of like just satisfies that like goopy thing on your burger thing in your mind. You know what I mean?
It melts well. I will say that about American cheese. It melts really well, and it's not too overwhelming. It kind of just blends. It makes the burger just like a one bite. Like it's just like it doesn't. It's not a separation. Yeah, it's glue. Yeah, cheese is the glue that holds food together. That is true.
Isn't it weird that if cheese is not melted, cold cheese seems healthy, like cheese and fruit on a plate, but melted cheese seems like extremely unhealthy.
Yeah, you added fire. Now you're gonna die.
Yeah,
it's gonna get stuck in your arteries better
when you associate it. You know what I mean? You think, oh man, melted cheese pizza, melted cheese nachos, melted cheese is bad. Oh, would you like a slice of cheese? Like, I'm not religious. Jesus, get that away from me.
I think it's a lot like if I get an artichoke and steam it and dip it in mayonnaise and scrape a little bit of char. The people are like, you're like a foodie. But if I just sit around and eat mayonnaise with a spoon, I'm like the least popular guy around. So, I mean, yeah, I get it. It's like we've all just kind of decided that,
I made my own mayonnaise recently and ate it with a spoon.
It's good.
And I felt like it was fine because I made it. It was aioli.
You're like, oh yeah, it's aioli. So I did go to culinary school, and
sorry for.
Oh no. You're in the right. It was just funny, but you really learn like in culinary school that aioli, mayonnaise, and hollandaise are all the same thing. Hollandaise is just
like viscosity, right?
Well, hollandaise is butter, and mayonnaise is oil. But it's still like fat introduced to blended eggs. Oh no, you can make fun of culinary school students all the time. It's actually a great. I mean, clearly I'm not working in a restaurant, so it's actually like kind of this like big kind of joke amongst a lot of people I know who went to culinary school. Who, I mean, some people went and did well with it, but it's not. It was a lot of money, and and you'll go and make like minimum wage making salads and some, you know what I mean? So
and then the person waiting tables makes more than you.
Oh wait.
God, this is so good.
Yeah, we do.
You were talking about.
sorry, back in the house.
I was a back of the house when I worked in restaurants. I was a front of the house torturer though. Like whenever like the waiter, whenever a server would come and complain, I'd be like, "Well, you can wipe the tears away with all the more money you're making than I am."
Yeah, it is true, man. We're spoiled. I'll be the first to admit that. Like anytime I get any perspective, I'm like, oh yeah, it could be way worse.
So good. You were talking about how you had the blizzard before. That's a strategy of mine. When I go somewhere that there's food, I always pre-eat so they don't know.
That's smart.
I always pre-eat till I'm like too full, that when I get there,
you just have a little bit, and they're like, "Oh, she's so disciplined."
Yeah.
And you're like, no.
Yeah. Otherwise, I'm just by the snack table the whole time.
That's good etiquette. That is really good etiquette.
Yeah.
That's like pre-gaming before you go out to drink.
Yeah.
Which is not good etiquette, but
No.
I had to start pre-gaming before the BLM protest because they have a snack cart there.
Oh yeah, that's
And
right.
I was just at the snack cart eating the snacks the whole time, and then I had to go bring snacks because I felt bad because I ate all their snacks. I had to go back the next day and replace the snacks that I ate.
They're like, I really should be like, protesting, but there's snacks.
You're like, I'm just carving up. I'm gonna march for days. Oh, no.
Tory, you want to get in the front lines? Hey, I'm just here for the food.
I heard there were snacks, and so should we rate this thing? Should we do the deal? Yeah. I mean, honestly, like it was just good. Like I don't know what to say. Like I mean, we'll break it down, but like
I thoroughly enjoyed that, and I don't feel like I'm like it didn't feel like it was too spicy. Like that would be the one thing that would detract from it if I was looking for a super spicy burger, and it's called the Flamethrower. I'm like, I mean, it's not really flames,
no,
it was kind of mild, honestly.
Yeah, it was just a little bit of spice.
I think that maybe you're just getting tougher from the show.
Yeah,
maybe because this is the second week in a row we've done something spicy. So those
trial by fire sauce.
those Nashville tenders with posse were
those are pretty spicy.
Where are those from? Where'd you guys go?
KFC last week.
KFC.
We got that sweet Latin Mountain Dew, the peach Mountain Dew. That was good.
Yeah. All right. So our first on a scale of 1 to 5 would be presentation. How do we feel like the presentation was?
5. I haven't eaten fast food in like 6 months. I'm not a good 5. It's all 5.
You're like a lady that just got out of prison. It was like, you are the sexiest man I've ever seen.
Always been this good.
I'm completely satisfied.
Kyle, what do you think?
I'm gonna go with a 4.5. I really liked the fortune teller wrapping paper that tells you what, and then it looked it was so clean. We split it. We cut it in half, and it split perfectly. It was just the presentation was great. Cool. Everything was evenly distributed, and they were busy at the Dairy Queen I was at. So I mean, kudos to them. Fucking absolutely fantastic.
Sure. We talk about this a lot on this show, but and I'll probably even bring it up at the end. But the people who do this work are so incredibly maligned by people. From like the burger flippers and all that whole thing and that whole attitude towards them, and like just how cruel and like ridiculous it is. And then there's a line of 20 cars, and they just have to put out the same product every time and make sure it's good. And it's just it's like what it's just like if any of you fast food folks are listening or watching, please take pride in what you do, or be happy with what you do, and know that we really very, very much appreciate you.
My dad used to tip. When he'd get fast food, he'd tip because we grew up with restaurants, and so he's like, it's food service. Everybody in my restaurant gets tips. Right. You guys should get tips.
Sure.
Because it's food. There's like no other restaurant that you go to.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think that I just like couldn't imagine. I just couldn't imagine doing like any job. Like I worked in grocery stores for a long time too, and and there's even like a little like tinge of it in there when you're working at the grocery store that like you're kind of like like people will talk down to you depending on like the area you're in, and like, oh, you just like work in a grocery store. It's like, are you fucking kidding me? Like I put like food on the shelf so you can eat it. Like I don't like, like I don't know.
How is that not a super important job?
Right. Like, and like I was a produce manager. Like I don't make like decisions so I don't just like throw tons of shit away and like the things look good and look fresh. You know what I mean? Like it's like all that stuff is really hard to do. And
when it's also when you're paid by the hour, they want everything out of that. I was so surprised when I got my like first job and it was like 25 cents over minimum wage or something, which was like a big deal that it wasn't minimum wage.
Right.
And I thought it was going to be, it's hard. Like it's not like a little hard. Like it's fucking hard.
Absolutely.
I've left so many jobs, extremely low wage jobs, like in tears.
Yep.
Like, and jobs where you couldn't get over 20 hours a week. So you had to have 2 of them. And just fucking cried on my way home from like, frustration and exhaustion.
Mm-hmm. And we've all just like signed off on it, but that's just normal. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like that we've all just as a society just said, oh well, they just make the decisions and we just have to sit here and like eat the shit sandwich. You know what I mean? And it's just it's really like one of the most unfortunate things. And I just every time I hear somebody say, oh, there's just those like even if they're wrong and you disagree with them, even that it's just out there that the people who do this job are like so shit on. It's just like I just couldn't imagine like going in there every day and having to like be like, this is what I do, and like how like emotionally taxing that must be. You know what I mean? Just because somebody like wants to make some point about like licking boots or something like that. It's like it's just a really great.
I felt that way working at Red Robin, and I know that wasn't fast food, but a lot of people treated us like fast food, and it was weird being made fun of by like 15-year-olds and then not getting tips. Like it was just such a, I don't know, man.
Yeah, it's like
great experience.
Yeah, so it's
like I'm like 26 and these 15-year-olds are about to make me cry. Like this is an ugly business. This is an ugly business. Like I was like, I'm getting PTSD from middle school here. Like this is
for real.
I'm still fat. It hasn't changed, and they know it.
I love it when you, because they're like, high school doesn't matter. Once you get out of here, it won't matter. And then a high schooler's mean to you, and you're like 30, and you just break down.
Like, oh.
I know how this is. I know who you are. You still have that evil button that you can push like that. Mm-hmm. All right, taste. Tory.
5. It tasted like grease and fat and salt. But the charboiled taste, really solid hamburger came through. I felt like all the flavors were distinct. Like you could taste the bacon, you could taste the burger. With the Baconator, that was not the case. It was like one thing. Last time I had it, but that was you could taste each individual thing in the burger.
Yeah, that was something we ran into with the sourdough king. We were talking about how the sourdough king was just, each bite was just ketchup-y and cheesy, and it almost tasted like a bowl of like cheesy like mac and cheese with beef almost. It was like just straightforward.
Identical flavor every single bite, and you just by the end of it, like it was good like halfway through it. By the halfway point though, you were like, okay, I've been here, I've done this. You know what I mean? Like it's like there is nothing like, I mean, mind you, I love vegetables, but like there was nothing that we've tasted that could have benefited from like some onions or a pickle or like a piece of lettuce more than that thing. You know what I mean? And like and so like when they put like lettuce on these burgers, I'm always like happy. Like I feel like they're pulling something over on people who are like not the produce eaters. You know what I mean? They're like, okay, you're gonna get a little lettuce on your flamethrower.
That's the thing that used to really annoy me at the Ram, because we sold a bunch of different types of burgers, and people would just remove certain things, not realizing that they all had a purpose. Like oh, I just don't like lettuce. And then they would get a burger, and then the top of the bun would be like, or the top bun would be like soggy on the bottom. And you'd be like, why is this soggy? I was like, well, you removed the sog barrier. Like you got rid of, you took out the defensive sog barrier. It's like, oops, that was on you. Like, I mean, I will eat something as it's intended unless it's something that absolutely grosses me out or I'm allergic to. And I feel like sometimes that leads you to be a little more adventurous with your eating, but I think you need veggies on burgers. I think you can't.
I really like cold veggies too. I call them like birthday party burgers because they're like the burgers that you get at like a kid's birthday party.
Oh, sure, for sure, totally.
Yeah, like crisp tomato, lettuce, onion, and then you go like a lot of places don't do that. They'll have like sauteed onions and everything on it's hot, and I really need the crisp.
Yeah,
I like the crisp.
It breaks up the monotony.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say, okay, for taste, I would say 4.5 again. For sure on the taste, and I agree. You touched on all the points of it having so many different taste profiles. I really like the sweetness of the hot sauce. That's something I didn't realize was going to be part of it. Is it because a lot of hot stuff, like we talked about this before, where it's just hot to be hot, and it just fuck you, habanero, death sauce.
Right.
And it's like we had we did the chip challenge, that one chip challenge together.
Yeah. I won.
She well, of course. She took the whole thing, ate it, and just sat there for a minute and went, I'm gonna go to bed. And then that was it. I took a tiny little piece off of it, and I was like crying and like sweat coming out of every pore in my face. And but anyways, I
did that. I just kept it together long enough to get to my room. That's the move. You just go, boy,
it's late now.
I'm just gonna
you just hear whimpering from behind the door.
Tori, you got a Cocker Spaniel in there? No. But yeah, I really like the heat on this. This flamethrower is but that's the one thing, like I was saying earlier, like if you were walking into your expectation being this is going to be the hottest thing available at a fast food place, you will be disappointed. So that is the one thing I will say that kind of detracts from it. But for me, who's a wimp, this is awesome. And I can tell people I ate the flamethrower, you know.
You're like,
flamethrower is fun.
I feel like from somebody who likes really hot food, because I almost grabbed hot sauce for this, and then I was like, oh, it's the flamethrower. And then I was like, no, but it's still gonna need hot sauce. We know that. Like, we know that going in. Like, I have a bottle of hot sauce in the car because I like stuff hot. So I know going in that I'm going to have to add heat to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I feel like those people have it covered.
Okay.
Like, they have, the people who like it hot have it covered.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just not going to be, like, I'm a hot fan too. And it's just not, like, it's just not going to be like that. You know what I mean? Like, and sometimes even when it is like that, like I'll go and and you know, like the variations in, like, let's say like Thai heat, you know, and like I'll go and I'll order, like, you know, sometimes I just want it like medium plus if I just want like a nice dinner, but sometimes the medium plus at like some of the places I go will come out like pretty hot and pretty, you know what I mean? So it is nice to, like, even as a fan of, like, even as somebody who puts like yucateca on everything and just like loves that stuff, and I get this jalapeno sauce from Trader Joe's that I strongly suggest. I don't know, like if you just go into like just a nice like hot enough burger, like it's just perfect. You know what I mean? Like it's good. It satisfies the spice thing. Is it going to blow? Yeah, like you're saying, Tori. Like I'm not going to go to Dairy Queen going like I'm going to walk out of here with like like some sort of like a habanero jam, you know what I mean, or something, some crap. Taste for me, you know what? I might just give it a 5. I don't give out many 5s, but like there's nothing wrong with it. You know what I mean? There wasn't a point in it that I was just like, like mine was delivered to me, so like my lettuce was like a little wilty, but like the lettuce, like with the jalapeno sauce and everything, like was almost like a dressing on the lettuce. Like that was really good, and like the bacon was like you're saying, like it wasn't like overly baconed. You know, like honestly, like from the meat mountain that we had on the very first episode, I hurt myself to bacon because it was so gross on the meat mountain. Corey, you should have been there for Meat Mountain. Meat Mountain was like everything at Arby's. on a sandwich with like 2 cold pieces of cheese.
All of it was cold except for like maybe the brisket was kind of hot, but even the chicken tenders were cold on mine. It was weird.
It
was
really,
no good? Bad?
No, it was probably the worst thing we've had on here.
And Arby's is so good.
Well, I love Arby's, and but not this. But the
Everything
bacon
for the sum of their own parts was good, but you put it together, it was just gross.
Exactly. But the bacon was just like so much on it, like just like so much flavor on it that like I've actually kind of like pulled back a little bit on bacon, so it was perfect. So I'm gonna give it a 5. Like I don't give out 5s, and that means that the flamethrower enters into what
Top
I can
tier.
like like that's up there with like now like a sausage McMuffin with egg and a Taco Bell bean burrito, which I consider like the 2 best fast food items. So like sausage McMuffin with egg, always delicious. Like a hash brown on it, freaking perfect. And then a bean burrito. No matter what I get at Taco Bell, I always get a bean burrito just because it's just like perfect.
I like that you do the hash brown on top. My order used to be 2 sausage egg McMuffins, 2 hash browns. I break one of the hash browns in half, put them on both of the sandwiches, and then I have a separate hash brown. Yeah, it's like
that is exactly what I do.
Fat boy math.
I love this separate hash brown. Like, no, I still need the side.
Yeah, I still need a hash brown.
There's just like Denny's has this burger that's like a breakfast burger, and it has an egg on it and hollandaise and hash browns on it. So it's just like it's called like the breakfast slam or something like that, and then they serve fries with it, and you're like, this is like so good. This is like everything like in my brain that I want. Like, like I want to put mayonnaise on my tuna fish salad sandwich. You know what I mean? Like I don't care. I'm not afraid. So yeah, I'm going 5. All right. We have entered into mouthfeel.
Well, I put half of it in my mouth immediately, and it was excellent. It was everything I wanted. It was soft. It was scrumptious. It was. I felt complete. I felt complete.
This is becoming a Willamette Week article about.
I like flamethrowers. They make me feel so good.
Where are you going on mouthfeel, Kyle?
Oh, mouthfeel. I'm gonna have to give it a 5 too. This burger is just so delightful. I like it. Just like we were saying earlier with the distribution. The distribution was so perfect, and it just I could have easily put down 2 of those myself. Like I would say, like it was clean. It was clean. It was a clean bite. It was. I'm gonna give it a 5 for mouthfeel. Like the bun was perfectly toasted. The burger was perfectly cooked. The sauce was creamy.
The bread was soft.
The lettuce was a nice crunch there, and the bacon was perfect.
And nothing was slimy. It was like soft, and everything was, what's the word? Moist. Like nothing was dry, but nothing was slimy.
Totally. Yeah, people hate the word moist, but when moist works, it works really well. You know what I mean? Like
it's good with dessert.
It's such a specific thing that it's just like moist.
I mean, I don't like people say it's the worst word. I don't know, between like moist and cunt. I choose moist every time.
Unless you
wound. I would say wound is grosser than moist.
These are all things that describe pussies. I don't like wounds. I don't like moist. I don't like whole. I don't.
The thing about the C word though is when you go to England, it becomes like endearing. Yeah. Like it's like it switches from being like the worst word you can think of to call somebody to like somebody like your best friend would call you. It's an amazing switch.
I feel like as long as you pronounce the T at the end, you're fine. Like cunt and cunt are like completely different.
It's a hard T.
Yeah, it's a hard T. if you hear it without the T at the end, you need to put your hands up because you're going to catch one. You need to prepare yourself for cunt. Like, uh-oh. But cunt is, ooh. Sorry. I'm bringing cunt in. I'm like, whoa, what a nightmare. Sorry.
No, you don't. No, you don't. No, I actually, I think it's interesting, like, about how, like, I just, like growing up, it was just the word, like, I would never say, and then, like, hanging out with English people and just having them they just say it, like, all the time, and it's just, like, it's just, I don't know, it's completely okay, you know? Nobody bats an eye about it if you have an English accent, you know? Okay, we're gonna flip this around a little bit on the risk factor, which 1 is no risk at all, as in you could just eat this and feel fine. 5 is if you ate it and it might kind of make you feel ill or throw up or sick to your stomach, something along those lines. So a scale of 1 to 5, what do you think the risk factor is?
Sorry.
Oh, sorry. I was just waiting to see how my stomach felt. I heard a gurgle. And I was like, is this a good gurgle or a bad gurgle? Before risk factor. What are we comparing this to? Are we comparing this to all food or to fast food?
Fast food.
Risk factor is very low.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
I feel like you could eat this burger and then go for a jog and only throw up a little bit. Like you probably would have thrown up anyways.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I feel like the risk factor is low, man. It felt like a very clean burger. Like I feel like I could have gotten this burger at a restaurant. It didn't feel very fast foody.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going like with a 1 on that?
Yeah.
Okay. Kyle?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with a 1 as well. I don't feel gross. I don't feel like bogged down or anything, and I don't feel like I'm gonna get spicy butt later. So
right.
That'll be. We all know spicy butt.
I like spicy butt.
I don't like spicy butt.
It turns your bathroom into a church. It's like a little religious experience. You find God. There's, that old saying, there's no atheists in the spicy butt bathroom.
I'm just gonna say this, not getting too graphic. I don't like when toilet paper feels sharp. That's all I gotta say. And that's what spicy butt does. I'm gonna give it a 1. I don't think there's gonna be any spicy butt incidents later on.
You got to get a bidet. I'm telling you.
I know. We used to have a shower sprayer that was real nice.
Oh yeah, we did. I remember that shower sprayer.
Uh-huh.
Sorry. Jesus Christ, I'm not trying to, man.
Tory. Wow.
I'm like, why did the Willamette week talk about sex so much? Anyways, I put the whole thing in my mouth and then my womb out of control. Have I ever said how much I like the word moist?
I am going to go actually like a 1.5, maybe 2.
Mm-hmm.
Being that
you're a rebel.
I did, no, but I did eat a whole one, and I did, like, I'm fine, like it's good, but it's definitely like I ate like I definitely like ate a burger. You know what I mean? Like I don't like it's good, it's clean, it's almost as good as it's getting. I'm gonna go 1.5. Like so, it's super low, but like I did just eat a burger. You know what I mean? So like
you still got that feeling of murder in your belly.
Yeah, right.
That murder feeling. I murdered it.
I got a little carcass in my tummy.
Exactly.
Little carcass in my tummy.
and the only negative thing I will say.
That's what I said right after I took my abortion pill. I was got a little carcass in my tummy.
This was no good.
I apologize.
There really should be more abortion songs.
It really is.
It would be so stigmatized if there were some sing-alongs.
All right. Well, I think I know where everybody's going to land on this last one. which is overall grubbing.
So grubbin's like how tasty it is and how much you would go back for more. So like a plate of nachos is usually the example we use. Like a plate of nachos is grubbin. Like you have to like pull it away from yourself.
Ooh.
Yeah. What would you rate this burger wise, grubbin wise?
So sorry. Oh, maybe I should go back to risk factor. So the thing is, this might actually get like a medium review on grubbin because it was so filling and satisfying. You know, whereas like nachos and chips, I feel like you never quite feel satisfied, and so you go back forever. Whereas this felt like a meal. Like right now, I feel like I ate a meal. I feel if it was in front of me, maybe, but I'm not like, oh, I need to go get in my car. Whereas if it was chips, I could eat 5 bags of it. But it's not necessarily a good thing. So I would give it maybe 2.5 on that.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say grubbability, I would give it a 3. Because like I said earlier, I could probably easily eat 2 of these within like 10 minutes. I don't know how people eat slow. I
have zero interest in eating slow. Like it was like, you know, it was like drinking. People were like, oh, don't you want to just go out and have just a couple of her? And I'm like, no, I want
experience.
Yeah,
exactly. It's I'm gonna I am actually on grubbability because of the way the cheese was melted on the back of the burger. Like just made my brain just like go, you know, like just like it made me swoon a little bit. I'm gonna give it a 4 because I just had that, like I looked at the back of it and I just saw that piece of pepper jack like melted to the back of it, kind of goopy, and I was like, you know what, I'm done. This is this is for me. This is so I'm gonna go for it. This is by the way the best reviewed item we've ever.
It was good.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Good job, Dairy Queen. We should send them a copy of this and see what they think.
As long as they're cool with abortions, cunts, and wounds, I'm sure they'll put it up on their.
Well,
share it on their Twitter.
Their mascot used to be Dennis the Menace, so
it's
a little risky.
So you got anything coming up, Tori? You doing anything comedy wise or show wise or?
Oh yeah, Laurelhurst Park kickstand comedy. So Dylan Reef, Seth Johnson, and I were putting on a comedy show in Laurelhurst Park. It's going to be every other Friday.
Wow, awesome.
6:30. It's free.
Cool.
And the first one is this Friday, and then it'll be every other Friday after that.
Nice.
Sweet. Well, that's fun. I got to say that I like doing the outside mic better than the inside mic. Having to wear my mask was a little weird for me. I'm pro mask. Just on the record, I'm a pro mask guy. But doing comedy with the mask on was a little weird. Like it was a different angle. You know what I mean? I'm used to, you know, it's it was harder for some people than others.
It's hard to project sometimes.
Well, and me, Ben Levy, and Noah Watson were talking about it afterwards, and none of us are, particularly like loud comedians, and so we all just sort of like, yeah, this is like a little strange, but but it felt great on the patio the other night. So, so I'm excited to go to go check things out at the Laurelhurst Park. That sounds like a lot of fun. Where in Laurelhurst Park? Because it's a big park.
I think it's by where the dog park is. There's like a platform. There's like a concrete round platform, and there'll be like blankets spread out and stuff. So and Mike Bennett, starting the next show, Mike Bennett is gonna make us. I think he's making us ducks. He's gonna make us ducks to go back behind the stage.
Dope.
Yeah.
I like that.
So it should be cool looking.
Kyle, how about you? What do you got coming up?
Coming up, I've got I'll be on Saturday. I will be in Harrisburg, Oregon, at a winery performing for like 150 Trump supporters, apparently, like
Wow.
just because of the town. No, I mean that's not a Trump rally, obviously, but the demographic. That's what the booker told me. So it's gonna be interesting. I'm very excited to do a challenging room like that. So that'll be on Saturday, and then on the 26th, I'll be in Spokane at the Spokane Comedy Club doing the open mic, and then coming back down doing some mics in Seattle the next day as well.
Cool.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
You can catch my any of my number of podcasts, Culture in Motion on KBOO. Next Wednesday, KBOO is having a drive right now. Please support public radio. It's really important that we have a public radio system for inclusivity and having places that aren't swayed by business ventures and advertising dollars is crucial. This week, me and Mike interviewed Malcolm Shabazz Hoover from the Black Farming program in Portland, and that was really awesome. And then Mike did one as well. So check those out on KBOO, and then they'll also be on our Spotify afterwards. But please, KBOO is having a drive this week. So if you got any extra money, throw them some because it's crucial. And then my another goddamn horror podcast is happening. And if you are in New York City on September 5th, we are now planning. In Brooklyn, we are having another goddamn horror fest with comedy and bands,
So cool.
and it's going to be a giant benefit for yet to be determined food insecurity homeless teen charity. So we'll be raffling off horror art, talking to people. We got a bunch of things lined up, so keep an eye out for that. So I'll be doing that. So, and I got 2 Hard Times articles this week. So please keep an eye out and support all the comedians in the scene and artists. Anything you either want to add? Thank you so much. This is so much fun. Tori, it's so good to see you. I really.
It's great to see you. I had a blast.
Awesome. This was a really good time. So, got anything else, Kyle? You good?
Just my other podcast, the hot off depressives with Chad Johnson. Yeah, and that's part of the Podcast as well. They do the Podcast, Emma, Zach, and Chad, and that's a great podcast as well. Check it out. They're 3 pillars of the Salem comedy scene. They were like keeping shit going over there, and they're awesome.
Just great people, all of those people. You know what I mean? Like that podcast is really good and kind of like meaningful, and like you kind of like throw it on and you're like, you know what, this just sounds good. It's just like it makes me.
We just have fun. We just have fun talking, and then we have some people here and there that have some really inspiring stories about how they, found a way to, stop drinking or stop doing drugs, awesome. And it's just been a lot of fun. Mike Lindsay especially had a very inspiring story.
How did I rank on my quitting doing drinking and drugs?
You were awesome because you have so much time. You have so much time.
How long have you been sober?
Almost 13 years now.
Fuck yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you have so much time and perspective because Chad and I are still like we just both hit like 2 years, so we're still in our infancy of not drinking. And Tori, you're about in 2 years now, right?
Yeah, I stopped after you.
Mm-hmm. So you're about 2 years in.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like one of those things. And any of our listeners or anything ever are in a trouble and feel like there's no way out, please reach out because there is a easier and better way to deal with all this. And whatever you think it's happening to you, it's happened to a lot of people, and we can all we all help each other in this. And the last thing I'm going to say is to our fellow, and I put this on Facebook the other day, but I went up to an open mic the other night at Pizza Spizza and had every intention of eating in a restaurant and had like a mental block to it and like just flatly couldn't eat because I have not eaten in a restaurant in this long, and I have and as an anxiety obsessive pattern sort of person occasionally I can get into that. So if you are suffering from anything like that, just be good to yourself and take it easy, and we'll all be back to eating Chinese buffet and all that shit.
Oh, man, I can't wait.
Soon enough, but just remember that we've conditioned ourselves to believe the world is fucking gonna kill us, and it's okay if you don't just bounce right back.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's really important. I feel like a lot of people maybe feel like there's an expectation to just be like, "Woo, stuff's back open again," and I think having anxiety right now is a really reasonable response.
For sure. I mean, I just like the thought of like sitting in there and like eating a piece of pizza, like it just seems so like no, like everything in my brain was like, what the fuck are you kidding me, dude? Like you've drawn this in, So yeah, so it's yeah, be good to yourself. Anyways, thanks guys. We will be back next week for another episode of Supersize We Comedians with Cars Spilling Condiments with another amazing comedian and some more delicious food. And as always, support your local fast food worker and vote and push for them to be taken care of.
$15.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
It should be 20. It should be 20, but let's get 15 first.
Let's go like 15 in like Lincoln, Nebraska, and
let's
go
places with smaller cost of living for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Big cities, we need 20, 25.
Right. I mean, it's like when they gave us like the checks this year. They're like, oh yeah, we'll give you $2,000. Well, $2,000 in Portland compared to like half of the country is like, I mean, it's like nothing. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not spitting on $2,000, but like, I'm just saying that like, because if anybody has an extra $2,000, I'll totally take it. But yeah, it's so $20 an hour. I'm fine with fast food workers. And you know what? Just charge more for the shit.
Yeah,
it's fine. You just charge $1 more. We all would have paid $1 more for our flight. I mean, the fucking thing's like $9 anyway. So it's like,
you know
what
I
mean?
10.
Exactly.
It might as well be 10.
Exactly. All right. Thanks everybody. We will see you next week.
Thank you.
All right.